With Ronda Rousey set to be involved in 2 WrestleManias and more, this is Wrestling Hub. My name is John, and you're watching the Wrestling Report for January 30th. Before we get into the rest of the video, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Hub and turn on all notifications to stay up to date with everything in the world of pro wrestling. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Wrestling Hub Official, and also follow us on Twitter at Wrestling_Hub. Last year, Bayley was the victim of a knee injury during training at the Performance Center, which led to her needing surgery and, of course, time to recover. While many returns took place during the Royal Rumble, Bayley did not turn up, as she had a message for fans following her absence, writing, "What I want doesn't even exist yet." With Bayley intent on making a comeback, it remains to be seen what she is talking about. Despite having neck issues, Drew McIntyre was able to rehab enough to make his return at the pay-per-view last night, but would end up eliminated by the eventual winner of the Rumble, Brock Lesnar. During an interview backstage, McIntyre vowed revenge against Lesnar for stealing his childhood dream. "I was supposed to be out a lot longer, hell longer than a month. The doctor looked me right in the eye and said, 'Don't skip the surgery.' The first night I was with him, fortunately, that's not how it went down. I rehabbed my ass off and got back 1 month, the Royal Rumble, a chance to win it and go to WrestleMania. And this time I have a full screaming crowd of thousands of people, and who is the man who took me out? The guy whom I had no idea was in the Rumble in the first place. The same person I defeated for the WWE Championship in the main event of WrestleMania. The thing is, how I dreamt of as a kid was the main event, winning the championships, thousands of people screaming, and somehow I only got 2 out of 3, and 2 out of 3 is bad in Drew McIntyre's book. I want the main event, I want the title, and I want those people to be there to feel that moment with me, and Brock Lesnar took that away from me tonight. There's a lot of time until WrestleMania. I will wrap my head around that. In the meantime, Corbin and Madcap, that was just the beginning. We are far from over." Following the Wednesday night ratings war between AEW Dynamite and NXT, the former would beat the latter in viewers and the 18 to 49 demographic handedly, which led to NXT ultimately being moved to Tuesdays. Speaking at 4W Online, Lance Storm gave his take on the situation, saying they should have left NXT on the network. They should have left Hunter in charge of it. They should have left AEW alone. They wouldn't have a failure on the record. They would have the wonderful black and gold brand still happening. The great string of NXT takeovers. It would have been so much better. Since that time, NXT has been overhauled, much to the chagrin of fans, as we'll have to see if things improve on the brand. During the Universal title bout last night, Roman Reigns would be disqualified for not letting go of a choke during a rope break, which led to Seth Rollins winning the match but not the title. This caused Reigns to attack his former stablemate with a chair, as Dave Meltzer noted why this was done on Wrestling Observer Radio. To get out of the people booing it, Roman hit him with a million chair shots when it was over, including a chair shot to the back, basically to mimic the Seth Rollins chair shot to the back when the Shield broke up. So you know that was to turn boos for the match into boos for Roman at the end of the segment, and it pretty much worked that way. So that was the plan. That was the whole gist of it. They still crapped on it after, but they would have crapped on it in a longer and more negative way if they didn't end it that way. But they ended it with the chair shots. With her outlasting many during the Women's Rumble, Lita touched on her pay-per-view appearance on Booker T's Hall of Fame podcast, where she addressed those criticizing her comeback. I mean, if you were going to make an entire show, you should be well aware that there are people coming in for a night or a short time. It is to build and to mix and to get older generation of stars who may have fallen out of wrestling to pop back in, and now they are with you. For the current roster, not to see it that way is short-sighted, right? Just let these people who have come in and pave the way spark energy and maybe bring some of their old fans back. And then we will take off and leave them there with you. And now the ball is in your court. It is in your hands to pull these extra fans back on board. Some fans took notice of the fact that Finn Balor was not present during the pay-per-view last night. Now, WrestleVotes has reported his whereabouts, as they wrote, confirmed with a source that Finn Balor is not injured in any way. He is out of the country, however. WWE expects him back in plenty of time for WrestleMania. Thanks to interference on the part of Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman, Bobby Lashley was able to defeat Brock Lesnar last night to win the WWE title for a second time. Talking about his opponent with Ariel Helwani, Lashley noted that he is a better mixed martial artist. Without trying to disrespect him, I don't know what he's capable of doing as far as skill-wise because I don't know. Afterwards, I taught boxing. I taught jiu-jitsu at my gym. As far as skill for skill and knowledge for knowledge, I have a lot more than he does. When the Royal Rumble comes around, it became a tradition to see what methods Kofi Kingston will use to creatively prevent himself from being eliminated. He tried to do just that by holding onto the barricade, but would end up touching both his feet on the ground. With him reacting to this, Kofi Kingston tweeted, "Well, it is better to try and fail than never to try at all." Someone said this. Since the Royal Rumble kicks off the road to WrestleMania, the event usually sees a Mania sign. This time around, the sign was lit on fire following Ronda Rousey's win of the Women's Rumble. This led to fans needing to be removed from seats below the sign, with Louis Dangor noting that the fireworks that went off on the WrestleMania sign after Ronda Rousey won appear to have melted it. The entirety of the section below the sign had to be evacuated. With many comebacks taking place last night at the pay-per-view, it's been reported on Wrestling Observer Radio that WWE had some backups in place but did not end up needing them. I guess Oksana and Jillian Hall were there for potential backups and Io was there. I mean, Io could have helped this match a lot. Reportedly, Caitlyn was also backstage, presumably as a backup for the bout. With her returning to action last night and winning the Women's Royal Rumble, many are excited for what comes next in regards to Ronda Rousey. Following her victory, she talked during a backstage interview, where she said, "I mean, it's the statement I wanted to make. I don't know, that wasn't a question at all. That was a statement. I'm going to go back to my bus and love on my little baby, and that's really the only thing I care about right now. My priorities have changed." The Observer would also point out that Fox is very happy about having Ronda Rousey back in WWE and on their show. Rousey would also react to her win on Instagram as she wrote, "I just had a baby 4 months ago. Since the day I found out I was pregnant and calculated my due date, I knew I wanted to return to WWE at the Royal Rumble. 2 weeks, even 2 months postpartum, that goal seemed crazier than ever before, but I just missed it so much, and so badly wanted to give the same example that my mom gave to me and my sisters. She never broke stride following her dreams while having us. Now, it's my turn." Right now, WWE has big plans for Ronda Rousey to take part in 2 WrestleMania events, one for this year and one for next year. At WrestleMania 38, she's expected to take on Charlotte Flair, as she'll more than likely face Becky Lynch the year after. While this match probably won't take place until next year, Becky Lynch told BT Sport during an interview that she's more than willing to face the former UFC champion. "I've already beaten her. Sure, of course. That's the match people want. That's the match that people have wanted for, well, nearly 4 years now. And I think that'd get them excited, and that'll get me excited. But now it's in her court. It's up to her if she wants it. If she wants it, I'm ready to go. If she doesn't, well, she can warm up with the gazpacho." Talking to Wrestling Inc. about re-signing with WWE in 2019, AJ Styles says, "It was easy. I want to be here. This is the place for me. If they let me, I will retire here. I hope to work in WWE in some capacity when I retire. I enjoy what I do." When asked about his plans for after retirement, AJ noted that he would like to have a similar role to that of Shawn Michaels. "I'd love to have that opportunity. I hope to see people be successful. And having a hand in that, to me, it would probably be the best thing I could do in my career. But I don't know that I'll get that opportunity. I'm just saying." Talking about his work with NXT, AJ said, "Oh, it's great. A bunch of hungry kids wanting to get after it. I love that. It's inspiring because you want to do more when you're down there. And I know the crowd is a little bit smaller, but it's just as exciting. The smaller sometimes are the loudest. I really believe that the NXT fans are what makes NXT. The WWE universe is what makes WWE. It's not us, it's them." Kelly made a return to WWE for the Royal Rumble last night, but one fan called out the star for having plastic surgery as Kelly responded, writing, "Literally, I was 25 when I retired. It's been 10 years. No surgery whatsoever. It's called becoming a woman, which obviously you know nothing about. Let's do a 10-year challenge on you and see what you looked like before and after, sir." With a report that there are no plans for Bobby Lashley following his WWE title win last night, Ringside News has reported that Bobby Lashley won the WWE title at the Royal Rumble, and that was followed by a report that WWE has no plans for him at Mania. False. We were told that the title matches for Mania are booked and have been booked for a while. That includes Bobby Lashley's opponent. Many were disappointed with Brock Lesnar winning the Men's Royal Rumble as they took to Twitter to voice their displeasure. They couldn't use the Rumble to establish somebody new on the title scene. Nope, more stupid Lesnar BS. Lesnar wins the Royal Rumble. Predictable, boring garbage. This in itself sucks, but having Kevin Owens be eliminated by Shane is BS and reeks of nepotism. Forget WWE. No promo for me tonight. This doesn't deserve one. This was a BS show. Lesnar loses and wins the Rumble instead. Little to no star power at points. No surprises, no storylines furthered except the one already established, no stakes, and of course, Lesnar wins it after all the BS. WWE, can you not make it so predictable? Rumble sucked. Let me guess, Lesnar versus Lashley for his rematch at the Chamber and wins. Then versus Reigns at Mania and unifies. Thank God I didn't buy this BS pay-per-view. You kidding me, WWE? I like Brock Lesnar, but this is BS. Makes me glad a good wrestling company, AEW, exists. And this was your Pro Wrestling News Update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later.